The flames licked the night sky like hungry demons, devouring the old Brooklyn warehouse in a roar that drowned out the sirens. Elijah burst through the crumbling door, his lungs burning from smoke, screaming a name that no one else could hear over the chaos. Alex! In that instant, as beams crashed around him, he knew this secret love would either save him or bury him alive. Elijah Thompson had always been the golden boy of his tight-knit family in suburban Connecticut, just a short train ride from the city that both thrilled and terrified him. At 28, he was a rising star in the New York Fire Department, with broad shoulders honed from endless drills and a smile that could disarm even the gruffest veteran. But beneath the hero's facade was a storm he kept locked away, a truth about himself that he'd buried since high school, when stolen glances in the locker room had first stirred something forbidden. It started innocently enough, or so he told himself. 2 years ago, during a routine call to a minor apartment fire in Greenwich Village, Elijah had pulled a young artist named Alex Rivera from the smoke-filled hallway. Alex, with his messy curls and paint-streaked hands, had coughed out a thank you that lingered in Elijah's mind long after the embers cooled. They bumped into each other weeks later at a coffee shop near Washington Square Park, where Alex was sketching the autumn leaves. "You're the guy who saved my sketchbook," Alex had said with a grin, his dark eyes sparkling. Elijah laughed it off, but that chance meeting ignited something deeper. Their first date wasn't called a date, at least not out loud. They met for beers after shift, wandering the high line under the stars, talking about everything except the pull between them. Elijah spoke of his family's expectations. His dad, a retired cop who preached about duty and legacy. His mom, who baked apple pies and dreamed of grandchildren. His sister, Sarah, who idolized him as the perfect brother. Alex shared stories of growing up in a vibrant Puerto Rican family in the Bronx, where acceptance came with conditions, but art was his escape. By the end of the night, as they leaned against the railing overlooking the Hudson, their hands brushed, and Elijah felt a spark that scared him senseless. As weeks turned to months, their relationship blossomed in the shadows. Stolen weekends in Alex's tiny studio apartment, where canvases of bold colors mirrored the passion they shared. Elijah would arrive late, shedding his uniform like a skin, and lose himself in Alex's arms. "You're my fire," Alex whispered once, tracing Elijah's scars from past blazes. But Elijah always left before dawn, slipping back to his bachelor pad in Queens, where photos of family barbecues reminded him of the life he was supposed to live. The conflict simmered beneath the surface. Elijah's family sensed something off, his dad grilling him about why he hadn't settled down with a nice girl, like Sarah's friends. "You're not getting any younger, son," his father would say over Sunday dinners, clinking beers in their cozy colonial home. Elijah dodged with jokes about work being his wife, but the guilt gnawed at him. He loved Alex fiercely, in a way that made his heart ache, but coming out felt like walking into a blaze without gear. What if they rejected him? What if he lost the only anchors in his life? One crisp fall evening, as leaves crunched underfoot in Central Park, Alex pushed for more. "I can't keep hiding us, Eli," he said, his voice cracking. They sat on a bench, hands intertwined under a blanket. "I want to meet your family. I want the world to know you're mine." Elijah pulled away, eyes darting to passers-by. "It's not that simple. My folks, they're old school. Give me time." But time was a luxury they didn't have. Alex's frustration grew, manifesting in heated arguments that left Elijah sleepless. Then came the betrayal that cracked Elijah's world. It was a rainy Tuesday when he discovered Alex had been seeing someone else, a gallery owner named Marcus, who promised exposure for Alex's art without the baggage of secrecy. Elijah found out through a careless text on Alex's phone during a rare night together. "You're ashamed of me?" Alex accused when confronted, tears streaming. "I need someone who isn't afraid." Elijah stormed out, heart shattered, but deep down, he knew Alex was right. He was the one hiding, the one building walls. In the days that followed, Elijah threw himself into work, volunteering for extra shifts to numb the pain. The warehouse fire call came on a frigid November night, the kind where breath fogs the air and danger feels amplified. Reports said squatters were inside, artists using the abandoned space as a studio. Elijah's crew arrived to chaos, flames engulfing the structure, screams echoing from within. As he suited up, a frantic bystander grabbed his arm. My friend Alex is in there. He was painting late. The name hit like a backdraft. Elijah didn't hesitate. Ignoring protocol, he charged in alone, his mind a whirlwind of regret and love. Alex! He bellowed, navigating the inferno. Smoke blinded him. Heat seared his skin. But he pressed on, driven by a force stronger than fear. He found Alex collapsed near a half-finished mural, coughing weakly. Hoisting him over his shoulder, Elijah fought back through the collapsing halls, beams groaning like dying beasts. They burst out just as the roof caved, Elijah collapsing on the pavement with Alex in his arms. Paramedics swarmed, but as they loaded Alex into the ambulance, Elijah felt a sharp pain in his chest. Not from smoke, but from the realization that this might be the end. His secret was teetering on exposure, and in that moment he didn't care. He had walked into the fire for love, and it had burned him clean. As the ambulance doors slammed shut, Elijah watched Alex's pale face disappear into the night, his own body racked with coughs that tasted like ash. Back at the station, his captain pulled him aside, eyes stern under the fluorescent lights. What the hell were you thinking, Thompson? Going in solo like that could have killed you both. Elijah shrugged it off with a weak smile, but inside, the adrenaline crash revealed fractures he could no longer ignore. Recovery was a blur of hospital visits and forced leave. Elijah's family descended on his Queens apartment like a loving invasion. His mom with homemade soup, his dad with lectures on recklessness, Sarah with get-well cards from her kids. You're a hero, bro, Sarah said, hugging him tight. But Elijah's mind was elsewhere, replaying the fire, the betrayal, and the unspoken words that hung between him and Alex. Alex survived, thanks to Elijah's recklessness, but their reunion was bittersweet. In the sterile hospital room, surrounded by beeping machines, Alex reached for Elijah's hand. You saved me again, he whispered, eyes glistening. But why? After what I did? Elijah squeezed back, voice hoarse. Because I love you, you idiot, even if it hurts. They talked for hours, unraveling the mess. Alex's fear of being a secret forever, Elijah's terror of losing his family. I cheated because I felt invisible, Alex confessed. But it was a mistake. You're the one I want. Forgiveness didn't come easy. Elijah wrestled with trust, nights spent staring at the ceiling, questioning if love was worth the pain. Yet, in quiet moments, like sharing coffee on Alex's fire escape overlooking the city lights, the romance reignited. They explored New York together, hand in hand in queer-friendly neighborhoods, where Elijah felt a glimmer of freedom. Picnics in Prospect Park, stolen kisses in dive bars. Their bond deepened, laced with the raw emotion of near loss. But shadows loomed. Elijah's family noticed his distractions, his frequent nights out with buddies. His dad, sensing evasion, cornered him during a backyard barbecue. Something's eating at you, son. Spit it out. Elijah deflected, but the pressure built. Meanwhile, Alex pushed gently. Tell them about us. They'll understand. Elijah wanted to believe it, but memories of his father's offhand jokes about those types in the city made him hesitate. The turning point came during a stormy weekend getaway to the Catskills. Holed up in a cozy cabin, rain pounding the roof, Elijah and Alex bared their souls. I can't lose you again, Elijah admitted, pulling Alex close. Their lovemaking was tender, passionate, a reaffirmation amid the thunder. But on the drive back, Alex issued an ultimatum. Come out, or we're done. I deserve more than shadows. Torn, Elijah sought solace in his work, but the fire had changed him. He volunteered at a local LGBTQ center, mentoring young firefighters struggling with identity. There, he met others like him, stories of rejection and resilience that mirrored his fears. One night, after a support group, he called Sarah. I need to talk, he said, voice trembling. Over coffee in a quiet diner, he confessed everything. The love, the betrayal, the fire. Sarah's eyes widened, then softened. Eli, I love you no matter what, but Dad, he might need time. Emboldened, Elijah planned to tell his parents, but fate intervened cruelly. A routine checkup revealed smoke damage to his lungs, a ticking clock on his career. You might not fight fires forever, the doctor said. The news hit hard, amplifying his urgency. He invited Alex to a family dinner, intending to come out. But Alex, sensing Elijah's nerves, backed out last minute. "I don't want to force it," he texted. The dinner was tense. As apple pie was served, Elijah's dad raised a toast. "To my son, the hero." Elijah's heart pounded. "There's something I need to say." But before he could continue, his phone buzzed. A message from Marcus, the gallery owner. "Alex is with me tonight. Thought you should know." Betrayal struck again, sharper than before. Elijah excused himself, driving through the rain to Alex's studio. Confrontation exploded like the warehouse fire. "How could you?" Elijah yelled, rain-soaked and furious. Alex, caught red-handed with Marcus, stammered excuses. "You were dragging your feet. I needed certainty." Fists clenched, Elijah felt the world shatter. "I walked into fire for you." He stormed out, leaving Alex in tears. Devastated, Elijah spiraled. He ignored calls from his family, burying himself in isolation. Sarah showed up at his door, concerned. "What's going on?" Through sobs, he told her about the second betrayal. "I loved him, Sarah, but it's over." She held him, whispering support. "Love hurts, but you're stronger than this." In the weeks that followed, Elijah focused on healing, physically and emotionally. He threw himself into therapy at the center, confronting his fears. Slowly, he rebuilt, finding solace in small acts. Painting with kids at the center, reminiscent of Alex's art. But the void lingered, a romantic ache that made every sunset feel poignant. Then, a glimmer of hope. During a charity event for firefighters, Elijah met Jordan, a paramedic with kind eyes and a shared history of hiding. Their connection was tentative, built on honesty from the start. Coffee dates turned to dinners, laughter easing the scars. "I'm not ready to hide anymore," Elijah told Jordan one night, under the Brooklyn Bridge lights. As winter thawed into spring, Elijah gathered his courage. He called a family meeting, heart racing. "I'm gay," he said simply, voice steady. His mom's eyes filled with tears. His dad sat silent. "And I loved someone who broke my heart twice. But I need you to know me. The real me." The reaction was mixed, shock, questions, but no outright rejection. His mom hugged him fiercely. "You're my son. That's all that matters." His dad, after a long pause, nodded. "I don't understand it all, but I love you, kid. We'll figure it out." With his family's tentative acceptance, Elijah felt a weight lift, but the scars from Alex ran deep. He threw himself into his new life, balancing reduced duties at the firehouse with advocacy work. Jordan became a steady presence. Romantic walks along the Hudson, shared dreams of a future unshadowed by secrets. "You're brave," Jordan said one evening. As they watched the city skyline twinkle, Elijah smiled, but inside, doubts lingered. Was he ready for love again? The high drama unfolded when Alex reappeared, like a ghost from the flames. It was at an art gallery opening in Chelsea, where Elijah had gone with Jordan to support a friend. There, amid abstract paintings, stood Alex, his eyes locking on Elijah's with a mix of regret and longing. "Eli," he breathed, approaching hesitantly. Jordan tensed beside him, but Elijah held firm. "What do you want, Alex?" They stepped outside, the cool air cutting through the tension. Alex poured out his soul. "I was wrong. Marcus was a mistake both times. I've been miserable without you." Tears streaked his face. "The fire. You saved me and I betrayed that. But I love you. Give me another chance." Elijah's heart twisted, memories flooding back. The passion, the pain. "You shattered me," he replied, voice breaking. "How can I trust you?" The encounter ignited a whirlwind of emotions. Elijah confided in Sarah, who advised caution. "He's hurt you twice. Don't walk back into that fire." But Alex persisted. Texts, calls, even showing up at the firehouse with a painting of Elijah as a hero, flames framing his determined face. "This is how I see you," Alex said. Jordan, sensing the pull, confronted Elijah. "If you're not over him, tell me now." The conflict tore at Elijah, a romantic tug-of-war between past passion and present stability. Crisis peaked during a massive apartment blaze in Harlem. Elijah, cleared for light duty, was on scene coordinating. Chaos reigned, families evacuated, flames roaring. Then, a call. a resident trapped on the upper floors. As his team geared up, Elijah spotted Alex in the crowd, drawn by the news. "What are you doing here?" Elijah demanded. Alex grabbed his arm. "I had to see you." "Please, Eli." Explosion rocked the building, debris flying. In the mayhem, Alex darted forward, yelling about helping. "Stay back," Elijah shouted, but Alex ignored, rushing toward a side entrance. Panic surged. Elijah couldn't let him die. Defying orders again, he plunged into the smoke, following Alex's path. "Alex!" he called, navigating crumbling stairs. He found him cornered by flames, coughing violently. "Why?" Elijah gasped, pulling him to safety. They emerged gasping, collapsing on the sidewalk. Paramedics swarmed, but Elijah's anger boiled over. "You could have killed us both. This isn't a game." Alex, soot-streaked, clutched him. "I needed to prove I'd walk into fire for you too." The gesture was dramatic, foolish, but it cracked Elijah's resolve. In the ambulance, as sirens wailed, they shared a tearful kiss, raw, forgiving. But betrayal lurked. Back home, Elijah discovered Alex's ulterior motive. Marcus had threatened to out him publicly unless Alex reconciled, using Elijah's heroism for gallery publicity. A leaked email confirmed it. "You used me," Elijah accused in a heated phone call. Alex denied at first, then broke. "I was desperate, but my love is real." The revelation was a dagger, shattering trust irreparably. Heartbroken, Elijah ended it for good. "We're toxic together," he told Alex, blocking his number. Jordan, patient through the storm, offered comfort. "I'm here if you want me," he said softly. Their relationship deepened, built on mutual respect. No secrets, no drama. Elijah introduced Jordan to his family, who welcomed him warmly, his dad's awkward handshake evolving into genuine questions about Jordan's work. As summer bloomed, Elijah reflected on his journey. The fires, literal and metaphorical, had forged him. He spoke at Pride events, sharing his story of love, loss, and self-acceptance. "We all have secrets that can burn us," he said to crowds, "but facing them sets us free." Yet the emotional toll lingered. Nights of insomnia, flashbacks to the warehouse. Therapy helped unraveling the trauma. His family grew closer, his mom organizing PFLAG meetings, his dad admitting, "I was wrong about a lot. I'm proud of you, son." In a poignant moment, Elijah visited Alex's old studio, now vacant. He left a note. "Thank you for the fire that made me stronger. Be well." Closure washed over him, a romantic chapter closed with grace. With Alex firmly in the past, Elijah embraced his future with Jordan. Their love was steady, like the Hudson's flow, romantic dinners in Little Italy, weekend hikes in the Adirondacks, where they talked of dreams. Adoption, a home in the suburbs. "You're my anchor," Elijah whispered one night, as they lay tangled in sheets. Jordan smiled. "And you're my flame, warm, not destructive." But life threw one final curve. Elijah's lung condition worsened, forcing early retirement from the FDNY. "Desk job or nothing," the chief said regretfully. Devastated, Elijah grappled with identity loss. Who was he without the badge? Jordan supported him through the transition, encouraging a new path, writing a memoir about queer first responders. "Your story matters," Jordan urged. The book, titled Into the Flames, A Hidden Life, became a beacon. As Elijah toured, sharing tales of love and heroism, he connected with others. One signing in San Francisco brought a surprise. Alex, looking healthier with a new partner. "I'm happy for you," Alex said sincerely. "Your book, it helped me forgive myself." They hugged, a humane closure. No bitterness, just growth. Back home, Elijah's family fully embraced his truth. His dad, once rigid, marched with him at Pride, rainbow flag in hand. "I almost lost you to that fire," he confessed over beer. "But the real danger was my ignorance." His mom baked for LGBTQ fundraisers, Sarah's kids calling Jordan Uncle Jay. The discovery of Elijah's secret, pieced together through his confessions and the book, didn't shatter their world. It rebuilt it stronger, with empathy at its core. In a climactic twist of fate, during a routine checkup, Doctors found the lung damage reversible with new treatment. "You're a fighter," the specialist said. Elijah returned to light duty, but his true calling was advocacy. He founded a support group for queer emergency workers, turning personal pain into communal healing. The story culminated on a crisp autumn day, echoing their beginning. Elijah and Jordan exchanged vows in Central Park, surrounded by family and friends. Vows spoken with depth. "I promise to walk through any fire with you, openly and unafraid." As they kissed, cheers erupted, a romantic triumph over trials. Years later, Elijah reflected on the warehouse blaze. Not as tragedy, but transformation. The secret that drove him into the flames revealed a world of love's complexities. Betrayal's sting, forgiveness's grace, humanity's resilience. His family, once fractured by discovery, emerged united, their world not shattered, but expanded. In quiet moments, Elijah thought of Alex, not with regret, but gratitude. Love, in all its forms, had taught him to live authentically. And in America's melting pot, where stories like his unfolded daily, he found peace. A narrative of hope, where walking into fire led not to ashes, but to rebirth.